What if the world outside of you is being shaped by the world inside of you? Literally. Most people believe that reality is fixed, that we're just reacting to it. But what if your consciousness doesn't just observe your reality? What if it creates it? In this video, we're going to explore 3 powerful ways that your consciousness could be shaping your world. From how you perceive life to how your body responds to belief, and even how some scientists believe that your mind could be influencing physical reality at the quantum level. My name's Georgia. I have a master's degree in consciousness, spirituality and transpersonal psychology, and in my free time I love to research manifestation and the science behind shifting our reality. Now, in today's video, we're going to be going deep into the power of our minds so that you can understand that reality isn't just happening to you. You can take control and use the power of your mind to shift your life. Often when we want to shift our realities, we do it by trying to apply external force to our outer circumstances. But by the end of this video, you're going to understand that you can actually see measurable changes by simply harnessing the power within. So the first way that our consciousness creates our reality is through our perception. You need to understand that the fact that there is an objective reality out there is completely irrelevant, because every single person experiences a completely unique subjective reality. Let's imagine going to the beach, for example. For many people, this is a very positive experience. It's relaxing. It's fun to go and play in the ocean. You know, many people obviously go to the beach as part of a vacation or holiday. It might also be a way that you feel a deep connection to nature. So all of these different ways, this is a very positive and uplifting experience. However, for some other people, going to the beach can be a really negative experience. Maybe they've had a bad experience before in the ocean, so they find it scary. Maybe they hate the experience of having sand stuck to their feet. Maybe they've burned really badly before when they've gone to the beach, or maybe they've been stung by a jellyfish. And so when they picture their beach, they don't see it as this positive, relaxing experience. Instead, they see it as a really negative experience, as somewhere they wouldn't want to go. In both of these cases, this is exactly the same place. It's exactly the same objective reality. And yet, these are 2 completely different, polar opposite experiences. The thing is, you don't just experience reality, you perceive it. And your perception is based on an accumulation of life experiences and beliefs. If we look a little more closely at what shapes our perception, we have different systems in our brain and in our mind which essentially filter incoming information so that we all perceive a very particular reality. So for example, we have a system called the reticular activating system, which is a physical system in our brain, and what it does is it essentially filters what information reaches our conscious awareness, and it does this based on what we pay attention to the most and what we deem important. And what our brain deems important is what we pay attention to the most. So like in that beach example, if you are focused on every negative thing that has ever happened to you at the beach, then your brain is going to filter in more negative experiences while you're there. So you're not going to notice all the fun and enjoyable things about going to the beach. You are going to just notice all of the negative experiences. And it's not because that experience is objectively negative, it's because that's what you've tuned your mind to. So in this way, your consciousness is creating your reality because your brain is tuning you into a specific version of reality. And by the way, if you've ever noticed how when you want something in life, like imagine you want a new car and suddenly you see that car everywhere, that's because of your reticular activating system. So whatever you pay attention to and focus on, you are tuning your mind to. So be very careful what you pay all of your attention to. There are also mental processes which shape our perception. So for example, we all have confirmation biases. Now what confirmation bias is essentially, it's like a mental shortcut, and basically it means that our mind is always on the lookout for evidence that confirms to us our existing beliefs. So again, if we go back to the beach example, let's do the positive example this time. If you are someone who believes that the beach is a really amazing, relaxing, enjoyable place, then your mind is going to be on the lookout for evidence to confirm that belief to you. So you're going to notice how warm the temperature is, how white the sand is. You're going to notice all of the people enjoying themselves by surfing or building sandcastles, whatever it is. Your mind is going to serve you all of this evidence to confirm to you the belief that you already have that the beach is a positive place. So your beliefs and what you pay attention to are so important. You really need to make sure that your beliefs are in alignment with the reality that you actually want to experience, and also make sure that you are focusing your attention on things, again, that you want to experience, because whatever you focus on whatever you believe, will be reflected back to you. That will be the reality that you experience. Now, the second way that your consciousness creates your reality is through the placebo effect. So the placebo effect is a very well documented medical phenomenon, and to explain it, I'm just going to give you the most obvious example of it. This is where essentially some people are given a real medication and other people are given a fake medication. So they're given a sugar pill, for example, but they're told that it is a real medication. So this is the placebo. That sugar pill is the placebo. So in a trial, people will take this sugar pill, believing it to be an active medication, believing that it's going to heal them. And what often happens is that these people actually do experience physical healing, despite the fact that the sugar pill obviously wasn't meant to have any healing benefits. This is the placebo effect. It's the fact that a person's belief caused them to have a physical experience in the body. The placebo effect has been demonstrated in many different instances. So, for example, it's been demonstrated multiple times when it comes to people's pain response. So if people believe something is going to be painful, then often it is painful for them. On the other hand, if they believe something's not going to be painful, then that will often come with reduced pain. There have also been placebo alcohol studies where people have been given a substance that they believe to be alcohol, and as a result they have alterations to their behaviour as if they have actually taken alcohol. So they will act as if they're drunk. They'll have worse coordination, they'll have memory effects. All of these effects that come from consuming alcohol, these people have despite not actually having drunk any alcohol. So really, there's not just one placebo effect, there's actually many different placebo effects. And what's happening in all of them is that the mind is activating some process within the body. So the placebo effect very clearly demonstrates that your beliefs not only shape your perception, they can also have physical effects in your body. So this is a very physical way that your consciousness creates your reality. So if you believe that you're going to experience some type of physical healing, then you can actually instigate that in your body simply through your belief. Now, I should note here that this also happens the other way around. There's also something called the nocebo effect, which is basically the negative version of the placebo effect. Studies have shown that the opposite can also be true. If you believe that you're going to experience some illness or something, then you can actually kind of cause illnesses to worsen in your body, and you can also cause medications to not be as effective. So again, it's very important that you make sure you have positive beliefs, because this is a very physical way that your consciousness creates your reality. So do these effects go beyond our perception and beyond our physical body? So far, all of the effects we've been talking about are confined to us, to our mind and our body. But can consciousness affect reality outside of us? Now, this is where we get a bit more speculative, but there are actually some interpretations of quantum physics which suggest that this might be possible. Why? Because experiments have shown that the act of taking a measurement changes a quantum particle's behavior, transforming it from an undetermined state to a determined state. I want you to imagine a ball, for example. So this ball is a physical object. It's a single thing. Now, because it's a physical object, it has a defined location in space and time. It's in one place, for example, or the ball is either still or it's moving. It's not both at once. Now, this is what we assume for all physical objects. It's what makes sense. It's what we've always experienced. However, at the quantum level, this isn't always true. Even though it's completely beyond what we can perceive, quantum particles don't have a defined state. They behave as if they're in multiple states at once, as if they're in multiple locations at the same time, for example. That is, until a measurement is taken. The act of taking a measurement transforms them from being in this weird undetermined state to being in a definite state, like we would have expected in the first place, like a typical physical object. But no one actually knows why the act of taking a measurement has this effect, and so there are multiple interpretations of what's going on here. Now, one interpretation of quantum physics suggests that consciousness itself could be the cause of this transformation. And if this is true, it could mean that consciousness can physically shape reality. So it wouldn't be just about your perception of reality or your beliefs affecting your physical body. Maybe your consciousness can actually affect the very fabric of reality. If you want to learn more about the experiment that led to this idea, as well as a theory suggesting exactly how consciousness could have this effect, you can watch this video next. Whether or not the quantum physics interpretation is true, your mind has a huge influence on your reality through your perception and through the placebo effect, so make sure you are harnessing its power. If you want to learn how to reprogram your mind so that you can implant positive beliefs in there and make sure that you are influencing your reality in a positive way, then you can watch this video next. For now, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and thank you so much for watching.